Hey everyone, welcome to the first week of Church in the Park for 2025. If you are new to this or just forget how it goes, I'll give you a quick rundown of what's going to happen. So I'm going to record a quick sermon that you will hopefully be able to watch prior to the Sunday that we are gathering. When we gather on Sunday for Church in the Park, I will give a quick recap of what was said in the sermon, and then we'll have an opportunity to break into groups to kind of discuss and just kind of talk about different parts of the sermon. This summer, we're going to be looking at different Psalms every single week. And this week, we are going to start by looking at Psalm 77. So I'll let you know that today in Psalm 77, it is going to be sponsored by the letter R. All the major points for this week are going to start with the letter R. As I get started, I'm going to let you know that I am filming on July 1st, which means, according to my calendar, we have had 182 days so far in 2025, which means that we have 183 days left. We are quite literally halfway through the year. Thinking about that, I want to encourage you to think about the first 6 months of the year. Take a moment to reflect, and if needed, reevaluate. What are the things that you sought out to do when 2025 started? What are the things that you had hoped would happen, or the things you wanted to accomplish throughout the year? Now that we are 6 months into the year, provide yourself with an opportunity to reflect and, if needed, reevaluate. This idea of reflection came to mind as I was reading Psalm 77, because I think as we see, the author in this is wrestling with a variety of things. One of the things that the author encourages us to do, even if it is not by directly stating it, but he does it by showing us, is that we have a God desires for us to go to him and make requests. That made me think of the book of Philippians chapter 4, where Paul writes, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Psalm 77 starts us in a posture of making requests. And as we think about those things that have left us burdened or heavy, those prayers that have not yet been answered, or perhaps in a way that we don't understand or don't like. I found verse 3 to be really interesting, where it says, "I remember you, God, and I groaned." You can sense that there is some frustration or anxiety, some things that haven't been understood. We can see in this psalm that there is a freedom to continue to ask God for help and deliverance. So number one, make your requests known to God. Yet we aren't just supposed to make requests, but we are called to remember. Called to remember. After having a few moments of lamenting and pouring out some from frustration, the psalmist says in verse 11, "I will remember the deeds of the Lord. I will remember your miracles of long ago." So while we're in the mindset of reflecting on what has transpired so far in 2025, we can take some moments to make our requests known to God, but we should also pause and remember what God has done. So I want to encourage you to take a moment to think about how God has provided so far for you in 2025. The provision of food, of resources, of friendships, a job. Remember the forgiveness and the mercy that God has shown you. Remember the way that he has grown you and drawn himself to you throughout the year. Remember the deeds of the Lord. Finally, I think you can find rest. Find rest in knowing that God is God and knowing that God is in control. As you read through the remainder of the psalm, especially in verse 16 and on, you get a glimpse and a reminder of how big God is. I love verse 16. It says, "The waters saw God and they trembled." He says, "The heavens resounded with thunder." We need to remember and rest in the fact that our God is big. Our God is powerful, and our God is in control. So my hope and my prayer is that you can find rest as you are reminded of what God has done and who God is. And I think we can find rest as we look at the final verse of the psalm, where we are once again reminded that God is leading us. We may not understand it, and we may grow faint and tired and feel like we are too troubled to speak, but God is leading us, and He is leading us for His glory and for our good. So I pray that you will go to God confidently, remembering who He is, what He has done, and rejoice that He is leading us. I hope you take a few moments to read through Psalm 77 and think about these things. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday for Church in the Park.